Imagine walking alone across a rust-colored desert at dawn, the air thin and cold, and feeling in your bones that you are standing somewhere that could change the course of human history. What if I told you that place isn't fantasy, but a vivid possibility right now, just a shuttle ride away? You breathe in that crisp, cold air, you feel the rough dust underfoot, you look back and see Earth, a pale blue dot that seems so distant, and yet you feel a spark. We could go there. That spark, that daring longing, is at the heart of a city on Mars, and that feeling, I want us to live in it for a few minutes. Kelly and Zach Weinersmith invite us into a world where Mars isn't a far-off dream, but a tangible project, a challenge wrapped in the thrill of human ingenuity and curiosity. Kelly, a scientist, grounds us in the cutting-edge reality of space biology and engineering. Zach, the artist and comic creator, brings lightness, wit, and humanity to what could so easily read as dry technical spec. They wrote this together, and the result is neither pure science nor pure satire, but an intimate exploration of what it means to build a city on another planet. At its center, the book tells us this: Mars is not just our next destination, it's our next home to build, learn, and evolve. And in that possibility lives a deeper truth. When humanity pushes boundaries, we aren't just expanding geography, we're expanding ourselves. One of the first big ideas the Weinersmiths share is that sustainability on Mars isn't optional. It's our lifeline and our greatest teacher. Imagine your home powered by the sun, your food grown in recycled water, your community knit together by necessity. It's like surviving a harsh winter in an off-grid cabin. Every drop of water counts. Every kilo of food is a treasure. On Mars, designing for closed-loop systems isn't theoretical. It's the rule. And the lesson? We've grown so used to waste on Earth that designing for zero waste seems radical. But radical isn't bad. It's urgent. That mindset of living within closed systems and valuing every resource could change how we live here, even before we launch. Seamlessly, one idea slides into the next: the challenge of human psychology and community. Living on Mars isn't a matter of machines and habitats. It's about people, their hopes, their fears. The way your roommate's 3 a.m. coughing fit could feel cataclysmic when you're in a tin can millions of miles from Earth. The Weinersmiths tell stories of Antarctic stations, how people reinvent traditions to keep morale alive, how a homemade holiday feast or a laugh-filled card game becomes more than distraction. It becomes meaning. That's the heart of community building. When your world is small, every connection matters more. And the takeaway? We don't need a rocket to Mars to rediscover that. Maybe at home, we just need to slow down, gather around the table again, rediscover joy in small rituals that remind us we belong. Then the book sweeps us into the world of technology, real, emerging technologies that could carry us to Mars and help us survive there. There's the sun-powered greenhouses that filter and recycle air, the 3D printed homes using Martian soil, the electric rovers that scuttle across red dunes like lifeless beetles at sunset. The Weinersmiths make these inventions feel alive, as if you can smell the warm greenhouse, hear the hum of a printer building a wall. And they remind us that this isn't sci-fi. It's building toward tomorrow with tools you can almost touch today. The reflection? Innovating isn't about flashy breakthroughs. It's about stitching together small, real solutions that together scaffold the future we want. Another deep idea threads through: the ethical responsibilities of colonizing another planet. They don't sugarcoat it. Building on Mars raises profound questions. Should we send microbes that could contaminate pristine environments? Should we terraform until Mars looks like Earth, or preserve its wildness? They tell us stories of Earth's past, the mining of delicate ecosystems, natural wonders lost, and ask us to imagine losing something similarly beautiful on Mars before it's even seen. It nudges us to care, not just for ourselves, but for whatever stories the red planet already has. And the takeaway? Ethics shouldn't be an afterthought in innovation. They should lead it. We grow when we remember that expansion doesn't give us carte blanche. It calls us to care. All of this flows into a vision, city building as storytelling, as collective imagination. The authors describe how each structure, each street, each green patch of algae in the garden tells a story about who we are, what we value, how we want to live. Building a city on Mars isn't just making buildings, it's making culture, identity, a way of life. They imagine public spaces bathed in sunlight, where children play under protective domes and old friends share stories under the glow of Earth in the sky. It's poetic, but also deeply rooted in a principle we know, that our environments shape us. Mars, then, is not just blank space. It's a blank page where we can write a better script. The reflection? Maybe we ought to treat every space we build on Earth with that same intention, designing not just for functionality, but for hope, belonging, beauty. By now, our journey is winding. We've felt the desert dawn, seen the greenhouse glow, sensed the isolation and warmth of human ties thousands of miles from home. And suddenly, we realize a city on Mars is not just a manifesto for interplanetary city building. It is a mirror showing us what we could become if we live with intention, compassion, community, and creativity. So let's carry that forward. If sustainability on Earth feels overwhelming, start small. Turn off that tap. Design your home to recycle. If community seems lost in our digital age, invite someone over, tell a story, share a meal. If innovation in your life feels grandiose, commit to solving one problem with one grounded tool. If ethics seems intangible, pause and wonder, not just what you could do, but what you should do. In closing, the book reminds us of something tender and electrifying, that building a city on Mars is ultimately building ourselves, and that when we imagine a home in the stars, we discover home in ourselves and here on Earth. So if you feel the tug of that desert horizon, that whisper of possibility, I invite you to dive deeper into a city on Mars. Let the Weinersmiths show you how science and humanity weave together in unexpected ways. Share what part of that vision struck you: the gentle pull of community, the hum of innovation, or the question about caretaking wildness. And if you're curious to explore related stories of moon bases, of living off-grid, of the psychology of isolation, let's travel those paths together here. Because dreaming of Mars isn't just escapism. It's a way to rediscover what makes home, here and beyond, worth building.